Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to this week's Pinball Effects Tournament Challenge video. Today we'll be talking about the one ball challenge we had on the Getaway Highspeed 2. And then for this week coming up, we'll have a one ball challenge on Williams Theater of Magic. So that's a table that I just thought I haven't played enough of, but I remember it being a very fun table for tournament setting. But it'll be interesting to see how Theater of Magic does in a one ball setting. So that will be coming up for this week. But before I even talk about Getaway Highspeed 2, I want to mention a little anecdote that I witnessed yesterday. So yesterday I was watching the news, and when I was watching the news, all of a sudden it broke out to live coverage of a hot speed pursuit. But this one was a little different because usually when you think about high speed pursuits, you think about cars going fast, right, on the freeway. But this one was very different because it was a slow speed pursuit. The car was going within the speed limit, 30 miles per hour on pedestrian roads and then 60 miles per hour on freeways. And the reason for that was each pursuit is going to be different, and each protocol that the police take are going to be a little different. So when I was watching this, I was like, this is really kind of odd because it was basically a slow speed pursuit. And that was because the suspect was armed. And so when you have different, information and different intel, you have to approach it very differently. So this pursuit went on for like an hour. The suspect was driving very safely. But what was kind of interesting and a little bit funny was the suspect stopped like a couple times and was like acting like they were gonna give up, but then once the police got out of the car, they went back driving. So it was kind of like a bait and switch kind of thing, the commentary was saying. But fortunately at the end the suspect did give up. And something that I saw on this pursuit, this was also in California on the West Coast, but something that I learned during this slow speed pursuit was that there's a tactic called a pit maneuver, and it's basically where the police ram their car into the vehicle to get the driver to stop going, right? And so it stands for the pit maneuver actually stands for precision immobilization technique, or tactical vehicle intervention. And so what the cop will do is try to ram the side of the car to get it to stop. So that's called a pit maneuver, which I had never heard before. You also during this chase, at one point the cops, the LAPD, tried to put a spike strip on the road. And so you have to be very careful with spike strips because you don't want them to get a civilian vehicle. So they tried to throw out a spike strip, and what these spike strips do is they're little needles, and the needles inject into the tires. And how it works is the needles, once they inject themselves into the tires, will let out air. But they let out air very slowly because in a high-speed pursuit, if you're letting out the air so fast, it can cause the driver to lose control and it could hurt other people. So these needles, these spike strip needles, let out the air very slowly out of the tires. And so that's what happened to this vehicle. They eventually got the spike strip eventually got the tires, so it came to an end. But just thought it was very interesting to learn those two things, the pit maneuver and a little bit more about the spike strip. And it was interesting too because there's so much protocol that goes into these high speed or slow speed pursuits. You have helicopters using a spotlight, and then when it turns dark, things get a little more tricky there. So very interesting. It causes a lot of traffic because in a slow speed pursuit, there was 8 cop cars behind this minivan, and it causes a lot of traffic behind them, and so it leaves a lot of space open, like a gap where if the driver wanted to, they could hit the gas, and gone like 90 miles per hour, 100 miles per hour, and try to get away. But it was a slow speed pursuit, and the driver actually had a dog in the passenger seat. So very interesting, but very different. And I wanted to bring it up because usually when you think about high speed pursuits, they're always, you're thinking them going really fast and driving erratically. But this one was very slow, and it ended in a good, peacefully. So, a suspect was apprehended. But just really interesting to see that, I was playing this table, and that was why I chose it, right? Because these things still go on. High-speed pursuits are still very much a thing. So even though this theme is kind of general, it's very still a thing. On this game, you have what looks like a sports car, like a Ferrari or something, but no one thinks that a minivan can be the one in that's being the getaway, right? So yeah, we'll talk about this table. Just some interesting things about it is that it's a Steve Ritchie table from 1992. And if you're familiar with Steve Ritchie's designs, he really likes to make the tables have really a sense of flow, really fast-paced action. And you definitely have that here, which is why I think it's such a great table, because it focuses on you get that sense of speed. So when you play Steve Ritchie tables, you'll know that you're playing them because you can definitely feel that sense of speed. And so that's really one of the things that I enjoyed about Getaway Highspeed 2 is that the gameplay, the design and flow of the table is very fast, just like a high-speed pursuit. And so as you're playing and as you're shifting gear, you feel like you're the getaway. You feel like you're the person in the red car being chased by the cops, right? You hear the call outs. Dispatch, we have a getaway. And then when the call out says shift gear, and then you hear the engines, it really puts you in the driver's seat, and that's what you really feel as you play. And it gets really intense. So one of the things that I think makes this table hard, a lot of people were saying, was the how easy it is to drain, and it definitely is a frustrating table. But what I like about this table is that it has a kickback, a left lane kickback that is really good, because once it kicks back, it will actually feed into the saucer where you get the burn rubber award. And so on a one ball challenge, the burn rubber award is not really random. I feel like it always gives you that 5 million, and then you get into video mode, right? But you can actually get that kickback lit fairly easily. I say easily because it's easy on paper, but not necessarily easy to do actually do it. But there's 3 targets, 2 banks of 1, 2, 3 targets, and if you hit them all, either bank, you will light that kickback. And so in doing so, when you hit those targets, it adds to the supercharger. And so the supercharger is that loop up top that actually has a magnetic accelerator, which will make the ball loop around really fast, right? Which is really cool. And so, when you hit those targets, you're actually adding to the supercharger award. And I think the max is 10 million or something around there. But this table is very difficult in many ways, but also very fun. But my strategy, what I found out, was to hit the orbit shots. Now, the orbit shots, when you hit them, very satisfying, are the RPM, right? That are the RPM orbits, what they call them, right? And so when you reach a certain RPM, you can shift gears. And the whole point of this table is to get to fifth gear and eventually Redline Mania. And once Redline Mania starts, you get the kickback relit. Everything is worth a lot of points. You have a jackpot that's lit. Supercharger is lit. And so that's what you want to do, and you want to get to that point. But it's very hard to do because of the slingshots. I think the slingshots on this table are really tough. You really have to be careful. You really have to practice getting the orbit shots, cradling the ball, and just hitting those RPM orbits. But this was the first time that I had played this table, and I actually learned a lot about it simply by playing. Because for a long time when I played this table, I had no idea about the shifting gears. So I didn't know that you had to press the launch button to get into the next gear. So, that I knew about this time. But there's also a couple Easter eggs. There's a Secret Mania. When you see the DMD where the cops are in front of the donut shop, if you press the shift button, shift gears a lot, you'll get Secret Mania where everything is worth 500,000 every switch. But yeah, I learned a lot about this table, and I think the best way to learn tables is to break it down. I think a lot of times when we play tables, there's so much that you can learn at once, and it can get it can make it harder to learn. But if you break things down, learn things little by little, it kind of makes the table a little easier to understand. And that's what I felt with this table, about hitting the orbit shots, about the supercharger, but that's basically the bread and butter of this table. And so I hope you guys enjoyed it this week. And it was a close tournament, so everyone in this tournament I can shout out and I've known. And let me give a first place congratulations to Gapvic with 301 million points. Gapvic entered our tournament, I think, last week on our Pinball M tournament. So welcome, Gapvic. He gave us a nice introduction in the comment section. Seems like a really cool guy. So I'm happy to have another competitive player in our tournament. So welcome and congratulations to Gapvic for 301 million. In second place, we have Balchi99 with 136 million points. I tried my best to try to beat Balchi's score, but I just couldn't do it. Every time I'd come close to Redline Mania or some kind of getting a jackpot, like getting the super jackpot on this table is so nerve-wracking. But, I came close. But Balchi still bested me with 136 million in second. So congratulations to Balchi. I came in third with 129 million. Just below me is Bad Jack Daniels with 107 million. And I saw Bad Jack Daniels' score increase throughout the week as well. So that is really cool to see as well. Because, I always check to see who is above me, who is below me, so I can kind of remember where I need to score. And so Bad Jack definitely creeped up there. Got pretty high with 107 million. So congratulations to Bad Jack there. In fifth place, we have Carpy Son with 100 million. Just 7 million below Bad Jack. And in sixth place, my friend Krobs with 89 million. Krobs also has a YouTube channel. Does similar things as well. Post, pinball effects content. Does a lot of VR videos. So if you're a VR player, be sure to check his channel out as well. In 7th place, we have Fabled Scarab 79 with 79 million points. Fabled Scarab, as you guys know, is always a participant, and I'm always glad to have him. In 8th place, Dracky Barks, aka Michael _363, with 75 million points here. Look how close he was to Fabled Scarab. 4 million points right there. And in 9th place, UTD 4000 with 66 million points. Below him, to round it off in the top 10, Pinball FX fan, PFX fan, our resident Australian, with 63 million points. Look how close he was to UTD, 3 million points. And in 11th place, my friend Urko 1945 with 61 million. So very close scores here in the lower part of the tournament bracket. And then in 12th place, Somatic, my first ever premium member, who's now been a premium member for I think a year and a month. Thank you, Somatic, for being the first and the longest with 51 million points. You know, we were just talking about music yesterday because I remembered a song that I had completely forgot about. It's by Queens of the Stone Age called Go With The Flow. And I made a little community post, and you know, we were just talking about music, and you know, Somatic mentioned a Linkin Park song that I listened to. I think it was called "Heavy Is the Crown." But shout out to Somatic for that 12th place score, and then in 13th place we have my friend from Germany, Geronimo, in game with 46 million points. So thank you to everyone for participating in this closed getaway one ball challenge. I hope you enjoyed. And so for this week, we're going to do a challenge on Theater of Magic. I think Theater of Magic is a table I've played a lot of, but not really in a one ball environment. So it'll be interesting because a lot of people think this table is kind of high scoring and easy, but that's usually when you think about a 3-ball. So it'll be interesting to see how the one ball affects it. This will be an open challenge because last week was closed. So public, one ball challenge, unlimited attempts, 5 days as per usual. So public, one ball, unlimited, 5 days. And the ID for the tournament should be near here soon. It is T8XS, so you should be able to find it. And good luck, everyone. Let's go. It's been a while since I played this table.
Welcome
All right.
to the Theater of
I love the callouts though. So you have a skill shot here, right? 10 million or advanced clock. Start illusion. Oh, skill shot illusion.
Shoot for the trunk.
Okay, so you got the magnetic trunk. Okay, magnetic trunk. Here we go.
Vanquish the chains.
17 million. Okay, you gotta shoot the trunk again.
Escape from the trunk.
Okay, we got.
The air pressure is building.
He sounds so like see that magnet? Oh, I love that. I would love to play this one in real life. Okay, so what are we shooting at? What's lit? Is maybe the strategy is just hitting the treasure chest? Is that what it is?
Hocus pocus.
I feel like that's always what I do. Oh, then you have the magnet, kind of like you have in Totem.
It's magic.
It actually looks a lot like Tales of the Arabian Nights. You have the captive. Are you kidding me? You have the captive balls. You have these the magnet near the inlanes. All right, let's go again. That was bad. I know that's not a good score, like, even for a one ball.
Welcome to the Theater of Magic.
Okay, maybe I get a different illusion this time. Oh, come on. Ball save. You have a little bit of a ball save.
Nice performance.
There it is. We lock a ball there. That's what we gotta
Magic
do.
trunk.
This is the multi-ball. Spirit cards. Here we go.
The theater awaits.
I like the music too. The little organs.
Escape.
Oh no! Oh
Go
no!
for the center loop.
I didn't know the ball was coming out there. Oh, I completely forgot. Okay, one more time. That was worse. Alright, let's do this.
Welcome to the theater of magic.
Shoot for Trump.
You have the magic.
Theater. When she says you have the magic, I think of you
Nice
have the
performance is
power.
about to begin.
Shoot for the magic trunk.
Wait, but you said... Okay, there it is. Lock the ball. Straight jacket.
Jacket escape.
Here it is. There it is. See?
Shoot for the jets.
The jets? Oh, the bumpers. This is where it is. Let's go.
You must break free.
Oh, come on! At least I know what to do, though. Oh, I'm gonna have fun with this one. I think there's a lot of... This table has so many, like, you know... like a Houdini kind of table. There's so many little things, little secrets, and little things to figure out. So I'm excited for this one this week. I hope you guys are too. Hope you enjoyed this video, and good luck. Till next time.